Right now, a second woman accusing a former Badger football player of sexual assault takes the stand. We will hear her description of the alleged incident.
And a judge gives the harshest possible punishment to a Janesville man for killing someone while driving under the influence for the second time.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thank you for joining us. We are hearing from the second woman who claims a former UW football player sexually assaulted her.
Quintez Cephas faces 2 felony charges connected to an alleged incident in April 2018. Rose Schmidt is live from the Dane County Courthouse, where day 2 of arguments wrapped up about an hour ago. Rose?
Yes, behind these doors, the jury must answer one question this week. Were the women too drunk to consent to sex with Quintez Cephas, or did they know what they were doing?
Did you consent to have sex with Quintez Cephas?
No.
Did you want to have sex with Quintez Cephas?
No.
A second woman accusing former Badger football player Quintez Cephas of sexual assault says on April 22nd, 2018, she was too drunk to consent. But Cephas's lawyers argue that wasn't the case because she was able to find an Uber and get back to her dorm room.
You still have to think about the fact that you want an Uber to start, right?
Yes.
The woman testified that she doesn't remember meeting Cephas at a Madison bar or the hours that followed.
The details of the assault, you did not remember any of those?
No.
Okay.
She recounted the phone call her best friend, another accuser, made hours later, describing what happened and telling her to go to the hospital to have a rape kit performed.
I was in shock. I was just very, grossed out, and I just really didn't want to deal with it in the moment.
The woman was questioned about a short text conversation she had with Cephas after the alleged sexual assault, which she says she deleted.
You didn't think the fact that you had sent these messages back and forth with Quintez was important. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
In one text, the woman used a kissy face and heart emoji and asked Cephas if he found her vaping device called a Juul. Cephas's lawyers argue the exchange indicates the sex was consensual.
When you look at these messages, do they look friendly?
No. They just seem like I wanted my jewel back.
We also heard today from 2 nurses who examined the alleged victims after the incident, and we're expecting to hear testimony this week from Cephas's former teammate, Danny Davis.
All right, Rose Schmidt reporting now from the Dane County Courthouse. Thank you, Rose.
New information tonight. Officials say human remains have been found on the Missouri farm where police have been focusing their search for 2 Wisconsin brothers. Nicholas and Justin DeMel have been missing since July 21st. Clinton County Sheriff Larry Fish says the remains have not been officially identified.
The cause of death has not been determined. This is still an active investigation, and the human remains have not been identified at this time. Investigators are still working with Frontier forensic doctors to determine what took place.
Officials found the remains on a farm operated by Garland Joseph Nelson. According to court documents, the DeMels visited the farm as part of a trip for their livestock business. Nelson was later seen driving the brothers' rental vehicle away. It was found abandoned in a commuter lot.
A Janesville man will spend the next 15 years in prison, the maximum sentence for killing a 70-year-old man while driving under the influence. The victim's family and a Greene County judge stressed this isn't the first time he committed that crime, but they wanted to do what they could to make sure it was the last.
People tell me all the time it will get better, but it doesn't. The only way it would get better if I got my grandpa back and if Nathan Leopold was rotting in hell.
David Leck's granddaughter, Emily, was 12 years old when the van her grandpa was driving flipped over, killing her best friend. That was the first time she came face to face with Nathan Leopold.
As I looked into his eyes, I saw nothing. No remorse, nothing. I saw a cold-blooded killer.
Leopold already had an OWI death on his record after he hit and killed 28-year-old Amy Kubler in 2002 while driving under the influence, a conviction that was not lost on Leck's family.
You were given so many chances, a chance to change, a chance to grow, a chance to make a difference, and all you did was tear a hole in more hearts than mine.
You have single-handedly ruined a family And no matter what your sentence, it'll never be enough.
The judge did what he could to grant the family's wishes, handing down the harshest possible punishment, 15 years in prison. But the life lost is something everyone, including Emily, will live with forever.
He caused so much pain and misery to my entire family. And with this, I hope to finally receive a tiny ounce of closure so I can move forward without having to worry about anything else anymore, so I can maybe be a kid again.
Again, David Leck was 70 years old. Leopold will serve another 5 years of extended supervision once he leaves prison.
Turning to weather now, the sunshine and comfortable temperatures continue. Let's check your first alert forecast with meteorologist Dana Fulton.
All good news on the weather front. Right now, we're looking at a sunny evening and a really clear and comfortable overnight. Here's a live look from our WISC TV sky cam. A lot of blue sky and sunshine for us this evening. Looking at our Doppler track, no rain coming through, no storm chances building in for us. We have some showers well off to the west in Iowa, but things will stay pretty quiet for us this evening. In southern Wisconsin, 77 right now in Madison and in Mineral Point, about 76 in Viroqua and 79 in Janesville. With a calm breeze coming from the northeast, it will be a little cool again early tomorrow morning thanks to that northeast breeze, but in the afternoon, plan on sunshine and temperatures pretty close to average. We're in for a nice Thursday, but we'll take a closer look at the weekend ahead in just a few minutes.
A judge has set a $5,000 cash bond for a man suspected of a hit and run in Orfordville. 29-year-old Luke Caston is facing 2 felony charges, first-degree reckless injury and hit and run involving injury. After the crash around 3 a.m. Saturday, paramedics found the victim lying in the road, nearly unconscious, on Main Street just south of Highway 11. Today, the Rock County Sheriff's Office identified the victim as 40-year-old Joshua Johnson. He's being treated for a head injury in the intensive care unit.
Investigators are working to determine what led up to a fatal crash involving a man who hit a parked car in Janesville. Janesville police say this happened on Holiday Drive, right near Holiday Park, just before 9 o'clock this morning. Officials say a 38-year-old man crashed directly into the back of an SUV that was legally parked. The victim was found dead and pinned in his vehicle. Fitchburg police are asking people to keep an eye out for a missing woman. You're seeing her on your screen there. She has medical and mental health concerns. 54-year-old Justine Wendland was last seen by her apartment manager yesterday around 4 p.m. She lives in the 2900 block of Fish Hatchery Road next to the Wendy's restaurant there. Anyone with information is asked to call Fitchburg police.
Beloit police are trying to identify who was responsible for a string of burglaries and arson at a church. This happened last week Wednesday night. Police say burglars stole a UTV, gas cans, and a lawnmower from a Beloit College utility shed. They took other items, including more gas cans from a ranch and Springbrook mobile homes on Collie Road. After that, police say they lit gas cans on fire outside Central Christian Church. That fire caused damage to the parking lot, and police need your help.
We're a team with the community, and we really encourage to keep that collaboration going, because this is how the city of Beloit is becoming safer.
Police are asking you to keep an eye out for that orange and black UTV. Here's a picture of what it should look like. Anyone with information is asked to contact Greater Beloit Area Crime Stoppers or leave an anonymous tip on their website.
Cell towers and antennas will be placed every several hundred feet around Madison. It's so carriers like Verizon and AT&T can increase internet speed and upgrade phones to a 5G network. But some people are not in favor of those plans. Jamie Perez joins us live at the municipal building downtown, where a public input meeting just wrapped up. Jamie?
Well, the major issue brought up at this meeting had to do with health concerns. Several people who said that they were opposed to these, said that they don't want these cell towers anywhere near their homes. They think that they will be exposed to microwave radiation. Now, I spoke to a City of Madison Engineering Department spokesperson earlier who says these cell towers have to comply with certain FCC rules and regulations and monitoring in order for them to be allowed and up to code. Now, the whole point of these cell towers being put in place, they say, is to keep up with the demand from people who use a lot of mobile data. They say upgrading to a 5G network would provide them with a better and faster service. Now, some people say they don't want to be exposed to the health hazards that they believe can come with the new technology here, but the city says these cell towers will happen. They're just trying to regulate them as much as they can.
There are a lot of people on their cell phones. There are a lot of people who are using their mobile devices and data usage. And then the wireless carriers are trying to keep up. And then there's also the regulations that we are just trying to make sure that we have in place our guidelines from a city level that we can control.
And now you could see these cell towers appear as early as this week. They're about 3 cubic feet and can be placed in the right-of-way under certain size and appearance restrictions. If you want to learn more about these cell towers, more information can be found at the City of Madison's website.
All right, Jamie Perez reporting in downtown Madison. Thank you, Jamie. Sun Prairie Post Office will likely be renamed in honor of fallen fire captain Corey Barr.
Barr died last July while responding to a gas leak in downtown Sun Prairie. He is credited with evacuating more than 100 people from the affected area before an explosion erupted. Today, the U.S. Senate passed bipartisan legislation to designate the post office on Linnerud Drive near Misty Meadow Park as the Fire Captain Corey Barr Post Office building. We asked Barr's widow, Abby, what she thought of the news.
It makes me happy, but, you know, the reason of it isn't ideal. Obviously, I'd still rather have him here, but I couldn't be more proud of him, and to be able to share his honor and legacy with the community and be able to share that with his daughter someday.
Senators Tammy Baldwin and Ron Johnson introduced the legislation in April. The entire Wisconsin congressional delegation, led by U.S. Representative Mark Pocan, has introduced companion legislation in the House.
Well, next at 6, a conservative group is arguing Governor Tony Evers crossed the line when he vetoed 78 items from the Republican written budget, how they're trying to narrow the governor's powers.
And there's more local news ahead. The city of Middleton is creating a new plan for the airport, and some residents aren't happy about it. Hear their concerns tonight on News 3 Now at 10. Governor Tony Evers is pushing for tougher state rules to protect ground and surface water from pollution. The governor announced today he's directing the Department of Natural Resources to establish nitrate performance standards for soil most likely to be contaminated. Studies have shown that agricultural sources like manure and commercial fertilizer are the most common sources of nitrate pollution. Meanwhile, a conservative law firm filed a lawsuit today on behalf of 3 taxpayers challenging the governor's 78 partial vetoes to the state budget that the Republican-controlled legislature approved last month. The lawsuit filed by the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty acknowledges that Wisconsin governors have among the most powerful veto powers in the country. Their argument is that Governor Evers went beyond the reach of his powers to essentially create new laws that the legislature never approved.
This case is not about politics. It's not about personalities. It's about an important principle, and that is the principle of separation of powers.
The governor says the group behind the lawsuit doesn't accept the results of the November election.
We have to move on. We had an election. We had a budget. The budget was signed and deliberated by Republicans and Democrats. So I'm ready to move on. Apparently they're not.
It's up to the state Supreme Court to take up the case or not. Starting tomorrow, the court will have a 5-2 conservative majority.
Today, the Packers announced they will be opening a new combination sports bar and golf swing practice center. The Turn will open later this summer in the Titletown district. The feature attraction is Topgolf Swing Suite virtual simulator bays. Now, if golf isn't your strong suit, I'm raising my hand, you can play virtual hockey, baseball, pitching, and zombie dodgeball games as well. The bar area also will have custom cocktails, an array of local brews, and elevated bar foods made from local ingredients.
That sounds interesting.
Sounds like a good little trip there.
Coming up in sports, some big changes for the Brewers on the MLB trading deadline, and a Packer was kicked out of practice today over an aggressive hit. Sports director Jay Wilson shares what the new head coach has to say about that.
And if you're already looking forward to the weekend, we do have beautiful weather headed our way. Meteorologist Dana Fulton will have the details in your First Alert forecast. Sunshine today, a lot of blue sky. Actually, as we take a look downtown at a time lapse from this morning into this afternoon, some clouds come on in, but no rain and not really enough to really black out the sunshine either. Of course, right now we have a great view downtown. Temperature-wise, we're still hovering in the upper 70s for most of the area, and our Doppler track is staying pretty calm and quiet. We don't have anything new moving on in. Some showers well to the west and south in Iowa.
but the rest of the state, or the entire state, is staying pretty quiet. That's thanks to some high pressure right now that's just off to the northeast, just centered up towards the UP. There's some shower chances off towards the east coast. They have a little cold front that's driving some storms into the New England area, but our high pressure is keeping us quiet and calm. Even that front off to the west not going to be impacting us, neither of those showers down to the south. Again, right now we're at about 77 in Madison, 76 in Dubuque, but 81 in La Crosse. Everyone's sitting in a pretty seasonal spot right now. And compared to this time yesterday, just about a degree or two above where we were at about 24 hours ago. Overall, our dew points have been hovering in about the mid-50s, so it just feels very comfortable outside right now with those dew points being just a little lower. Overnight, we'll stay mostly clear. Tomorrow, expect a mostly clear sky throughout the state. There'll be a little bit of a shift in our breeze by tomorrow afternoon, becoming a little more southerly, and that's going to help our temperatures climb. For tomorrow to be closer to average, Friday and Saturday we'll start climbing towards the mid-80s. Now by Saturday, we'll also see a little bit of an uptick in our humidity as we start to see some moisture push on in. Saturday morning will start off mostly sunny, but we have clouds coming in the afternoon, and it does look like there's a slight chance for some showers building in the afternoon and evening. So late in the day, just a slight chance for us right now. So a closer look to tonight. Temperatures are going to fall overnight into the upper 50s with that northeast breeze. Plan on tomorrow afternoon being nice and sunny outside. Friday, we start the morning back in the 50s, and then in the afternoon, we're in the mid to low 80s for afternoon highs with a mostly sunny sky. Overnight low in Madison of about 57. A very comfortable start to the day for your Thursday. A mostly clear sky again, so you'll be able to enjoy all of the day, starting from early in the morning if you're an early riser, or even into the afternoon. We still have that mostly sunny sky hanging around. Temperatures will be in the low 80s for Thursday. Mid to low 80s on Friday. We warm up just a little bit. And then by Saturday and Sunday, we see our temperatures land in the mid-80s. A little uptick again in that humidity for the weekend, just as some more moisture moves in. A slight chance for some storms on Saturday. A better chance for rain comes in on Monday. And those storm chances will lead to a little bit of a cool down heading into the middle of next week. We'll keep the sunshine back in the forecast for the middle of the week, and temps will be back closer to seasonal in the lower 80s.
The Brewers make a couple of moves at the trading deadline, but nothing that's going to knock your socks off. The story's coming up in sports. The Brewers were buyers, but not crazy buyers at the Major League Baseball trading deadline. They did get a left-handed pitcher from the San Francisco Giants to bolster their ailing staff, but it wasn't Madison Bumgarner. It's Drew Pomeranz. He was really good with the Boston Red Sox 2 years ago with a 17-6 record. The last 2 seasons, he's been 2-6, and this year 2-9. He started 17 games this year, but he was so lousy he was demoted to the bullpen, where he's been pitching much better. Now, the Brewers need starting pitching, but David Stearns says Pomeranz will likely come out of the bullpen for now. Brewers also got hard-throwing right-hander Ray Black from the Giants. Now, they had to pay a price for that. They sent shortstop Mauricio Dubon to San Francisco. Dubon is considered to be the 4th-ranked prospect in the Brewers farm system. He tore his ACL last summer, but he's been playing in AAA this summer. Dubon had 2 at-bats with the Brewers in July. He's from Sacramento, so he's kind of going home as he's traded to San Francisco today. The Brewers also traded Jesus Aguilar to the Tampa Bay Rays for right-handed pitcher Jake Faria. Aguilar was an all-star for the Brewers in 2018, but his star has fallen since. He's hitting only .225, 8 homers, 34 RBI this season. Faria has pitched in 10 innings in the majors for the Rays this season. If you didn't stay up late last night, here's how the Brewers game ended in Oakland. Top of the 9th, Eric Thames hit a clutch home run to tie the game at 2 and send it to extra innings. But only 1 extra inning was needed because in the bottom of the 10th, Matt Olson hit a game-winning walk-off homer off Josh Hader. That's already the 10th homer Hader has allowed this season. Game 2 of the series tonight, newly acquired Jordan Lyles gets the start for Milwaukee. Yesterday, the Badger men's basketball program announced Howard Moore wouldn't be coaching this season as he recovers from his car accident. Today, the Badgers fill that spot on the staff with a very familiar face. Orlando Tucker will take over for Howard Moore this season. Tucker is Wisconsin's all-time leading scorer in men's basketball. He's been the UW's director of student-athlete engagement the last year and a half. Tucker says he never wanted to join the Wisconsin coaching staff under circumstances like this, but he says he owes it to Moore to step in and help the Badger men's basketball program. Forward Madison FC has an afternoon matinee in Toronto today. Don Smart, kind of the Aaron Rodgers of soccer. He can make the long pass. He does here to Paulo Jr., who beats the keeper. Jr. scores twice in the game. Good road win for the Flamingos. Final score is Forward Madison 4 and Toronto FC 1. About halfway through the Packers' practice in Green Bay today, defensive back Josh Jones laid a big hit on running back Trey Carson. Jones and Carson got into a little fight. Head coach Matt LaFleur kicked Jones out of practice because you're not supposed to hit your own guys like that.
You know, that's not what we want to be about. We've got to take care of our teammates. We are a team. We need everybody, and so that's just kind of how we operate. I don't want to tackle. We're in a thud situation because it's one thing if a guy knows he's about to get tackled. It's another thing when a guy gets tackled and he's not necessarily expecting it. I think that leads to injuries.
You'd never see that with a News 3 Now team, would you?
I was just about to say, our boss constantly tells us not to tackle each other
That's
either.
right.
So,
if you blindside me,
I know. The
big trouble.
You'll be pulled from the game.
Yeah, that's right.
Pulled
Okay.
right out.
Well, you get the day off, though. That, well, you know.
Yeah. Just watch your back, Wilson.
Oh, I think those are fighting words. All right, Dana.
Watch the hip, okay? Watch the hip.
We take it outside, yes. So
Let's take it
sunshine
outside.
right now. We're expecting temperatures for the next few days to be in the low 80s for afternoon highs, sunny for Thursday and Friday still. And then as we get into Saturday, there's going to be a slight chance for some showers and thunderstorms later on in the day. It'll be a little warmer outside Saturday and Sunday also. A good chance for rain on Monday comes through. Then we cool down for the middle of next week.
I just want a cheap day off, guys. I just want the cheap day
how
off.
we do it.
That's all I want. I know. We're okay.
We'll see you back here at 10.